going on, everybody? This is episode 7 of Pathways. For all the people that don't know what Pathways is, for my new listeners out there, new viewers, Pathways is a podcast that talks about, new athletes come on and talk about their pathway to the top or where they are today as a man, their journey, their ups and downs of their careers and all that stuff, basically. So I got a new special guest with me today, Reagan Fairchild. How you doing?
I'm doing good, man.
Doing good,
yeah,
doing
good.
good.
To see you.
You been good, man?
Yeah, I've been really good. It's good to see you, man. I haven't seen you in a long time.
Exactly, bro. It's been a while. It's been a minute, but yeah, we rocking, man. We're gonna get this episode 7 going. All right, so we do a thing to where, I do a thing now. So like, I've been trying to come up. If you know something, you can come up with something at the end.
Okay.
Basically, like we do rock paper scissors, and whoever loses has to do something at the end.
Okay.
But
I never lose rock paper scissors.
Really?
So,
Okay. We'll see about that today. Because I'm 1 for 1. I lost.
Okay.
So, do you know anything that I've been thinking, like, because you would have to like answer a question at the end of it,
Okay.
but I don't know what question.
So so it's just at the end I ask a question.
Yeah. It's whoever loses has to answer the question.
Oh, okay.
Yeah. But
Okay.
I'm thinking, I don't know the question. I haven't really thought about it, guys. I don't know. I was gonna say favorite coach. We'll go with you. Whoever loses, we'll make it spicy. Whoever loses has to say their least favorite coach of their life.
Okay.
All right, you ready?
It's gonna be a tough.
That's 2 out of 3. All right. Rock, paper, scissors, shoot. Rock, paper, scissors, shoot. Rock, paper, scissors, shoot. Rock, paper, scissors, shoot. Rock, paper, scissors, shoot.
I think we're both gonna say the same answer.
Yeah. Rock, paper, scissors, shoot. Rock, paper, scissors, shoot. Rock, paper, scissors, shoot.
Goodness.
Yeah, this is not working. You might just have to go anyway. Rock, paper, scissors, shoot.
All right.
Okay.
Who won the first one?
I did. That was the first one.
Oh, that was the first one?
Yeah, that was
Okay.
the first one.
All right.
Rock, paper, scissors, shoot. Rock, paper, scissors, shoot.
Oh,
Tie.
1-1, man.
Rock, paper, scissors, shoot. All right, bet.
Oh, okay.
He lost. He's got to say it at the end of the video.
All right, that's fine.
You don't have to if you don't want to.
No, that's fine.
You good?
That's fine. No, that's
all right,
good,
all right,
man.
all right.
That's good, man.
We're going to get into these questions. I think it's about 15, so we'll get it rocking. All right?
All right, sounds good.
So you are originally from, where are you originally from? Are you from Aiken?
Okay, so
Before
college.
No, before Aiken.
Okay, yeah.
When you were younger.
Yeah, so when I was younger, my parents traveled a lot. They my dad worked in the church world, and so we traveled a whole lot. So first place I lived was Arkansas. Okay. Then I moved to South Carolina when I was really young. Moved to Indiana. After I lived in Indiana a few years, then our family picked themselves up, and we traveled back to South Carolina. Yeah. And I lived in South Carolina through high school, and I've been living in Charleston for the past 4 years in college.
Fun fact: his 2 brothers, the time he was here when he was younger in high school, when he was younger in South Carolina, his 2 brothers played for my dad in church league. So that was a fun fact.
That's right. Can't play basketball.
Yeah.
It's wild.
So with you living in Arkansas, right? Yeah. What was baseball like for you there compared to it is in Aiken once you got here at that age?
That's a really good question. I never lived in Arkansas. Well, that's not true. I just said I did. I never played baseball in Arkansas.
Okay.
I was too young. It was very big. Surprisingly, like T-ball was big. Yeah. So I don't know if you knew this, but they have like T-ball World Series. And
that's crazy.
Yeah. So
a T-ball World Series is crazy.
Yeah. Actually, my 2 brothers who you mentioned, they went to like a big playoff game for T-ball.
Yeah, for T-ball.
Yeah.
Jeez, that's kind of lit though. You just run, all the kids running around talking about they don't know where the ball's going. That's pretty lit though. I'm not gonna lie. That's pretty lit.
But I will say, I can tell you what it was like in South Carolina versus in Indiana.
All right, yeah, Indiana. Go with that.
Yeah, so it's really big. It's a really big difference. So in Indiana, the biggest sport is definitely basketball.
Basketball, yeah.
In South Carolina,
Hoosiers?
Yeah, the Hoosiers.
Yeah,
the Hoosiers.
Yeah,
that's right. They have like the big movie about the Hoosiers and stuff. In South Carolina, I think it's definitely. You tell me, is it bigger? Like well.
You talking about the biggest sport in South Carolina?
Is it baseball or football?
Yeah, I think it's football. It's for sure football. Yeah.
Okay.
In South Carolina, it's for sure football.
But they're kind of split, right? The sports are a little bit.
A little bit, but it's a little bit more football on that side. Yeah.
Okay, gotcha. Yeah, that's true. Yeah, football's just bigger down here. Basketball's the biggest thing up there, but baseball's definitely no questions asked. I think baseball's bigger down here than it is in Indiana. And so when I got up there, I played in a league called Town and Country. Okay. Where it's essentially, the baseball field I played at was in the middle of a cornfield.
Oh God.
Like
is it like the baseball dream, the dream field?
Yeah, literally, that's what
like
it was.
the dream field, yeah. Shout out Tim Anderson. You suck now, but it is what it is, man. You do suck now after you got knocked out. But
Sorry,
yeah. You were good then, but I don't know about now.
Maybe he's playing in town country now.
Exactly. I don't know where he's at, but yeah.
But yeah, so it was called Town and Country, which is completely different to here. I mean, here we have a ton of baseball complexes, and in Aiken, that's Citizens Park is really, really nice. People come from all over to play here. Yeah. But in Indiana, literally, I was in the middle of a cornfield. Yeah. When we hit a home run, you had to go search the corn stalks for your home run ball, which is actually kind of fun. But yeah, it's just a lot different, and baseball is not nearly as big up there. Yeah. And so it's hard to tell. When I came down here, the competition at South Aiken that was the first high school I went to. It was a lot bigger than it was in Indiana, and it was a lot better. And I'm not really sure if that was because the high school was bigger or just because the competition in South Carolina is better. It's hard to really say. But yeah, it was definitely a lot more competitive here than up north, just because that wasn't the sport. Yeah.
All right.
But that's just my experience. So.
Okay. Yeah, so when you hit 90 miles an hour on the mound, right, for the first time, take us through that experience and what it was like for you.
Oh, man. Well, it all started with a can of pre-workout. Yeah. That's
Jesus.
I kid you.
I know about that can of pre-workout.
It was a long time in the making because it's such a long story. Honestly, I'd say it starts in 10th grade. In 10th grade, I finished sophomore year, and I went and I threw on the mound once our high school season had ended. Yeah. I was really discouraged because I hadn't gotten much playing time. And I had put a lot of identity in baseball, and to be so bad at the thing you put your identity in kind of makes you just a little bit sad. It's like, oh man, I've put so much stock in this, and I kind of stink. Yeah. And that's how it was. And so I remember, and this did not help. I went to ABA. Yeah. And I was throwing off the mound.
Shout out Coach Brinkley.
Yeah, Coach Brinkley was awesome. Great guy. Yeah. I remember I was throwing off the mound. And I kid you not, I sat 73 to 75 in this bullpen, and I walked away thinking, man, I am awful. Yeah. I'm so terrible. And I was ready to quit. Yeah. But my brother, I came home that day, and I was so frustrated. I was so angry. And my brother, Tyler, he looked at me, and he wasn't super empathetic, but his words were helpful. And he said, well, Reagan, honestly, I don't know why you're so upset. Yeah. It's not like you put much work into getting better anyway, so what would you expect? Yeah,
you said the right thing?
Yeah, and I was thinking, I was actually really angry. I was really angry. I was like, you don't know what you're talking about. But the longer those words sat in, I thought, you know what, he's right. And so that began a long journey of me deciding that I was going to play because a lot of it was for myself, man. I wanted to prove something to myself that I wasn't bad. Because in my mind, it's weird. I always thought I am, like, every time I got on the mound, I was like, I'm the best player, I'm the best player, I'm the best player. I just wasn't actually the best player, but I was like, I am the best player, but I'm not the best player right now, so what's going on? So yeah, that started a long process, and I put on a lot of weight. I was in ABA all the time. Yeah. I remember one time I went in ABA, and I was on a throwing program, and I was to throw harder. Yeah. And I went in ABA, and it was so late, but I had to do my throwing program. And I kid you not, I sat on the ground to do stretches. And when I sat on the ground to do stretches, I was so tired.
You fell asleep.
I fell asleep. And I woke up.
I remember that throwing program, bro.
You remember that? Yeah. I woke up and I was like, okay, well, still gotta do my throwing program. Yeah. And so I say that to say, by the time I went to that bullpen, it was a long time in the making, and it felt really good. Like, words just can't describe the feeling I had when I hit 90. And it's weird because someone who doesn't play baseball looks at that and thinks, what's the big deal? Yeah. But for me, it was incredible. Yeah. It's really, it's unfathomable. Because for me, I always wanted to go Division I, and to me, I was thinking, okay, 90 is the mile marker. 90 is the mile marker. I can go if I hit that. when I hit it. And I remember I was in Myrtle Beach when I threw that bullpen.
Yep.
And it's a 3-hour drive home. And I kid you not, the entire first hour drive home, I listened to Darius Rucker by career, full blown for the entire first hour. I can't describe. Words are just lacking for how it felt.
Yeah.
It was really nice.
Yeah.
It was really nice.
Yeah, I bet. Okay, so you went to South Aiken your first couple of years, right? And everything, right? What was it like playing for them, and what led you to transfer to Aiken High?
Okay.
We'll take it back a little bit, back to high school. In that process.
Yeah, well, it's pretty personal, honestly. My reason for transferring, it was really, really personal, Dawson, because when I had first come to South Aiken, I had come from Indiana, where, like I said earlier, baseball just wasn't quite what it is here.
Yeah.
And so when I was in Indiana, I was a big fish in a little pond. And I came here, and with regard to baseball, I was a little fish in a big pond. But then you add on top of that, I was fairly socially awkward at the time, or at least I felt I was. I didn't know anybody, and it was just just regardless of baseball, but even putting baseball aside, just socially, freshman year and sophomore year were really hard years at South Aiken for me. I remember the first month I was at South Aiken, and I don't think anybody really knows this, but I literally I think I was about 3 or 4 weeks in to being at South Aiken. And I don't think it's that I didn't have any friends and I wasn't capable of making them, but I think just I don't know, I felt sad for some reason, kind of socially isolated. And I remember going in the bathroom and literally I remember texting my brother how hard it was, and I remember going to the bathroom during lunch and just spending the whole lunch period just in tears in the bathroom because I really struggled. Yeah. And that was freshman and sophomore year. No, not crying in the bathroom every lunch period, but just feeling a little bit like a social outcast. And I don't know why. I think I struggled with some of the guys on the baseball team there, and looking back, I think a lot of the guys didn't have bad intentions with some of what they tease, just like guys do. Yeah. But I had a lot of personal stuff that I was going through mentally, and insecurities and stuff, and so I think I took it more personal than it was. And I was like, after sophomore year, I just thought, you know what, I'm getting out of here. Yeah. I don't like it here. I don't like it at South Aiken. I didn't like the baseball program because I didn't get a lot of playing time, to be honest. Yeah. And I didn't feel like I was being developed very much. And I didn't feel like the coach cared about me. Yeah. So I decided I was going to transfer to Aiken High. And at the time, the reason I did that, to be honest, was because Coach Howard, his dad was the music director at Millbrook Baptist Church. And I went to Millbrook Baptist. So, so that's the reason, honestly, I transferred to Aiken High. And when I got there, I felt like the coaches cared about me. I felt like Coach Howard loved me. I felt like Coach Andrews really cared and he loved me. And all the guys there at Aiken High, I remember the guys at Aiken High just bringing me in and caring about me. Exactly. Guys like, and I guess people listening won't know these names, but I would honestly just like to shout them out because I really care about these kids. Like Adam Olsenbeck, Dalton Graves, he was really nice to me when I got there. Luke Stringfield, he's my buddy, and so like a bunch of these different guys. Ben Burrows, I love Ben. He got married. Rushton. And Rushton,
Shout out Rushton.
Shout out Rushton.
Hey, congratulations, man! You just got married too. So
did you really?
Yeah, you did.
Oh, that's awesome. Okay. So I say all that to say, I felt I was going through. It was more of like a social, a lot of insecurities I had in South Aiken, and so I just new environment helped me a lot. And so
Okay. Yeah, I got you.
It's a little bit of a different answer than I really expected. But
that's good. It's all what you want to say. Yeah, exactly. So when you ended up committing to Charleston Southern, your upcoming senior year, right?
Yeah, that's right.
What led you to commit there, and what was the recruiting process like for you in a way?
What led me to commit to Charleston Southern?
Yeah.
Okay, so mainly the reason I committed to Charleston Southern was something that we actually touched on a second ago, is that you feel like you have a chip on your shoulder when you're playing in high school, and you're like, I just want to prove something. Like,
Exactly.
honestly, you do a lot of the stuff you do in high school is more for just clout than anything.
It is. Yeah.
And clout can sometimes be, honestly, it can be a good driving motivator, or at least it was for me. I'm like, yeah, I'm going to show all these people up, different stuff like that.
Yeah.
It's not the healthiest mindset, but it can be a good motivator, I guess. But it, like we talked about a second ago, it kind of muddies your thinking, so you're kind of narrowed in. And so my thought was, I want to go to Division I. I got to go to Division I. I got to go to Division I. And so honestly, the reason I committed to Charleston Southern was because it was the only Division I offer that I got. I remember having some interest from some other Division I schools as well at the time, but I kind of didn't pursue them very much because of the specific degree that I wanted to go into. I remember CSU had a really good program, and so that's why I pursued CSU. And I honestly wanted to go to Liberty University. That was honestly, since I was like a middle school, that was my dream. And Liberty did not have the same dream that I did for me to play there. Their dream was for me not to play there. So we had conflicting dreams. But yeah, so that was about what that's why I went to CSU. What the process looked like is, well, honestly, the reason I went to CSU was because pitching coach I went to, his name is Mike Williams. I love Mike Williams. He's awesome. He works at a place called Diamond Elite in Myrtle Beach. And I went up there for pitching lessons. And the Charleston Southern coach at the time, or the pitching coach, he would come into the pitching facility, and so he was there one time when I pitched. And that sums it up, to be honest.
Exactly.
Yeah, that's about it. And I enjoyed my time at CSU. And I am glad I went there. I'm glad I went there. But that's about it. I played for showcase team, the Dirtbags.
We'll talk about it.
We'll talk about that? Okay. All right, cool. But yeah, they were a major part in the recruiting process as well.
Fun fact, I was in the car with Reagan when he committed to Charleston Southern.
That's right.
People don't know that. He was headed to summer game?
It was a Legion game.
Yeah, Legion game.
That's
I was in the car when he committed, so that was fun.
That's right, I think I pitched that game too.
You did?
Closed or something.
That's when you played with old ball head. What's his name? Coach. He still be coaching now.
I think it was.
Dude, I forgot his name, but yeah, coach in North Augusta, some coach. I forgot his name.
Coach Kevin.
Something like that. So your senior year is going great. Then, what didn't you have an unexpected injury in that year? Yeah. So talk about that a little bit. And then, how did it affect you?
Yeah, it affected me a lot. Honestly, it still affects me, and I'll get into that in a second. But the story goes like this. So after I hit 90, that was in, I believe I hit 90 in May-ish, and that's going into summer ball. So I was really pumped. So I hit 90, I played summer ball, and I topped out at 91 over the summer. It's going great. I play in the Palmetto games for South Carolina, and I top out at 91 there too. So I would sit about 88 to 90 and top 91 in most games. And then, I go to throw a bullpen, and I don't remember exactly what happened. I don't remember the circumstances exactly. But the way that I remember it, I think it was a little bit wet that day, and I was thrown off this turf mound. I think my turf may have been wet, but maybe not. Maybe I just slipped when I threw this ball. And I was throwing a slider, and I remember pulling through the slider and just feeling a big pop in my elbow. My next fastball was 68 miles an hour. It's okay, well, that's not normal. I just kind of push it off, and then I go to the doctor. Doctor tells me there's nothing wrong.
This was senior year, wasn't it?
Yeah, this was senior year.
Yeah, I was at second base.
Yeah, that's right. That's right. He was second baseman. He'd catch every ball too. So, no
Shout
errors.
out. Well, no, I'm not even gonna talk about him right now. But yeah.
No errors at second. But yeah, so then what happened after that? Okay, so I go to the doctor. The doctor essentially, he looks at my elbow. and he just takes an X-ray. And I think with baseball injuries, there's a lot of people who go in for these.
Yeah.
Sometimes they just kind of push them off. And essentially, I don't remember what he said was wrong with my elbow, but he kind of just casted me off a little bit. And I kind of intuitively thought, okay, something's wrong here.
Yeah.
But I didn't want there to be something wrong with my elbow, it was dumb. And so I just kept throwing. I took like a month off. I kept throwing. And then I got on another velo program to bump up my speed even more.
Yeah.
Well, I keep throwing, and in this velo program, my shoulder starts to hurt at some point, but I'll come back to that in a minute. And then the spring comes, and it was the first scrimmage of spring. And I remember being excited, but honestly being nervous because I knew that something was wrong with my elbow. I just hadn't said anything.
Yeah.
I knew something was wrong. And I remember I topped out at 85 that game. Oh wait, sorry. Let me backtrack a little bit. It was about a month before the first scrimmage of spring. I go in after doing this velo program. I go in and I top out at 94. But the way that bullpen went, the way it went was like this. I think my arm felt good for about 7 pitches, where I was sitting about 92 to 94. And I was really excited. Yeah. But my arm didn't feel good while I was throwing those balls. And then I kid you not, I think like 2 or 3 throws after I hit 94, I couldn't get above like 78 the rest of the bullpen. And I chalked it up, I'm just tired, I drank too much pre-workout, I crashed. But then a couple weeks goes by, and and it's our first scrimmage for Aiken High, and I topped out at 85 on that. I did terrible. Actually, I remember the coach at the time said one of the most hurtful things I've heard, and it honestly stuck with me for a long time. Yeah. And I'll bring it up later, but he said something along the lines of like, "You think pitching like that you'll ever get to play at Charleston Southern?" And that stuck with me in a very unhealthy, negative way. I wasn't very encouraged after that game, and it really made me. It really hurt. It really hurt. Yeah. And I guess I can bring that up later to my experience at CSU, but I remember leaving that game. I went home. We went to the hibachi place in Aiken. And I remember just crying. I was so sad. And I scheduled an appointment because I'm like, okay, well, something's wrong. And I had torn the ligament, I had an ulnar nerve issue, and I had bone spurs in my elbow. So then I had to get Tommy John surgery. Yeah. And you gotta imagine, man, it was really upsetting for me because my freshman year at South Aiken, I didn't get to play because I was bad. My sophomore year at South Aiken, I didn't get to play because I was bad. Junior year, I didn't really get to play because COVID canceled everything. Yeah. And then senior year, I'm like, okay, well, I get to pitch against South Aiken again. I'm really excited because honestly, that was like a really bad time for me, like mentally and whatnot. And I get to pitch against them, and I think it was the week before is whenever I found out my elbow was torn. Couldn't throw. And so that really hurt. So I had elbow surgery, and it really stuck with me for a long time. And honestly, the reason it was so bad is because the elbow surgery and me putting off the elbow surgery is the reason why I ended up tearing my shoulder. It was because while I was having these elbow pains, at some point I started having shoulder pains. Yeah. And I could be wrong. I don't know all the sports science, so I'm okay if I'm wrong on this, but I think a lot of time, like my arm started dropping, and I think my shoulder started making up for my elbow. Pretty sure I tore my shoulder while my elbow was torn. Yeah. And so to think of that, it's a little bit encouraging for me in one way because I'm like, wow, so probably whenever I hit 94, I was like, I had a torn elbow and a torn shoulder at the same time. So I'm like, oh, well, what if those things wouldn't have been torn?
You could have hit 99.
Who knows what could happen.
Yeah, exactly.
It didn't happen, and then the shoulder tear ended up being the reason why I had to stop playing at CSU. Yeah. So, and just stop baseball in general.
Exactly. Yeah. Okay. I got you.
Yeah.
So you traveled the world a lot. What has been your favorite experience?
What's been my favorite experience?
Yeah, your favorite one.
Oh man, I'd say probably, honestly, one of the coolest experiences was, well, I have two. Can I say
Okay,
two?
yeah, you good. Same thing.
All right. So when I was in Egypt, one of the coolest things.
Yeah, that's sweet already.
That's right. What's about to get cooler? We went to the pyramids.
Okay.
And when we went to the pyramids, I was like, okay, we're just gonna check out the pyramids. It's kind of cool. But they keep driving up. The van pulls up to the pyramids, and then they go to the right, and they put there's this big herd of camels.
Yeah.
Like, what are you doing? And they strapped us on the camels, and we got to ride camels
that's
around the
lit.
pyramids. And that was probably one of the coolest experiences I've ever had.
Yeah.
It was so cool. One of the this one's kind of funny. To me, it's funny. It's probably not anybody else. It's okay. I stink. But so we're in London, and it's 4th of July. It's my last day in London, and it's 4th of July. And the leader I was with, the guy who was housing us and whatnot, has all of these Brits come over to his house. And we have a big 4th of July celebration in London with all these British
With all the
people.
Brits, it's crazy.
Eating hot dogs, singing like "God Bless the USA" and stuff like that.
That's crazy.
That was a funny experience.
Okay. I got you. It is pretty crazy right there.
Yeah.
So, you correct me if I'm wrong. Are you a youth pastor or like have been a youth pastor?
You're about on the right track. I've done youth internships with some youth pastors. I don't particularly want to go into being a youth pastor because I'm just really awkward with teenagers.
Yeah. No, but I was
Yeah.
just asking like correct because I was gonna ask something else.
Oh, okay.
So,
Yeah,
basically.
yeah.
So in that area,
I have done
right?
it before, but yeah.
So talk about how important it is to have God in your life, especially going through all the things that you've been through.
I don't want to stress this enough. I don't think there is a single more important thing in the entire universe, in the entire world, that you could ever set your mind on than God.
Yeah.
And I think about this, and if God exists, and He is the creator of the world, creator of the whole universe, if He exists, and then if Jesus is who He says He is, He is God incarnate, He's the Messiah, the prophesied Savior for humanity, so we can be in right standing with the God of the universe. I don't know what could be more important in our lives, in every relationship that we have, in our friendships, in our relationships with our significant others, with our family. There's nothing more important to me. I think God sets the foundation for everything. For me, God sets foundation for morality, how I think and how I treat and how I love people, how I serve people. And back to the original question, why is God, what was specifically the question?
How important God is to have in your life, how important it is to have God in your life.
Okay, yeah. So as far as how important, very important, the most important thing.
Yeah.
As far as why, well, He's the creator of the universe who I believe all morality and laws of logic and everything is rooted out of. And I'll tell you this, man, this past year was a really, really hard year for me. Some of the mental health things I talked about from early years of high school, it's weird, 8 years later, and a lot of them just don't go away. And some of them got really bad this year, and there's nothing more important than having God in your life. Sometimes I felt like the whole world was caving in on me, and like I lost every confidant that I had, everyone that trusted me, and everyone that I trusted. I mean, half the times I didn't even trust myself. And without sharing too much detail, the person that I leaned on the most was God, and Yeah, it's extremely, extremely important. There's nothing more important than you can have in your life.
Mm-hmm.
And it's particularly thinking about the lessons and the life that Jesus taught us to live. Jesus taught us, Jesus showed us through his life what loving servanthood looked like when he died on the cross for our sins. And for me, that's what life ought to be about, is loving servanthood towards your fellow man. And I believe it's the most important.
Yeah.
I believe that it said that the chief end of man, the chief purpose of man for his creation, for his existence, is to glorify God and to enjoy him forever.
Yeah.
And I thoroughly believe that.
Yeah.
So, yeah. Essentially, it's very important.
Yeah.
That's my answer.
Yes,
it's
sir.
really important.
I
Man.
got you. That's what it's about, man. All right, so then basically you were at Charleston Southern, right?
Yeah.
And then you took your talents to play pickleball.
That's right.
What was that like? And how does that even like? How did y'all? So is that like an official team at Charleston Southern?
Oh yeah.
That's lit. I'm not gonna lie, that is lit. But like, yeah, I've gotten out of pickleball a little bit. I'm pretty good. But yeah, like,
I'm sure you're great at it.
Yeah. Pretty good. But nah, so tell me what that was like. And yeah, tell me what that was like for you playing pickleball.
Man, pickleball was so cathartic for me. I got into it, honestly. I got into it because I got into it because my ex-girlfriend loved pickleball.
Yeah.
And so she brought me to play one night with her friends. At the time I was really bad, and I don't think her friends were very good. Well, that's kind of mean, but I'm sure they were amazing. But they just actually like kicked my tail so bad. They absolutely destroyed me because I never played before, and I'm very competitive.
Yeah.
And so they crushed me, and I never played this game before. But I'm just sitting there thinking, man, I just got demolished by two like 70-pound females. I've got to live with myself.
Yeah.
And I had stopped playing baseball, and I kind of wanted something competitive, something to work at, something physical, you know. And I got into weightlifting because I really enjoyed that. But I mean, unless I was going to go into bodybuilding or like powerlifting, which
You could have. You still can.
I could, I guess.
Yeah.
Who knows? I guess
Exactly,
we're
man.
going in together.
Nah, I'm not doing that.
But you run your marathons.
Yeah, I can do that.
Sure.
But nah, yeah, that was like for real, you could. Bro. Last person I had on, shout out Jaden Bus Fuller.
Yeah.
He's a power lifter.
What?
Yeah, he's
Okay.
a power lifter, but he does pretty like big competitions or whatever. He lifted like 700 pounds or something. I forgot what it was, but a lot. So
Well, it makes sense because like I don't know how your guys were at Savannah State, but like I remember there'd be guys that just because they're athletes, they'd look like they could not lift a weight to save their life.
yeah,
And bro, these guys would be lifting. These like skinny guys would be lifting like 315 on the side.
Nah, but Jaden's
They swole.
yeah,
Okay.
he's gigantic.
Man. Okay.
Yeah.
He's doing pretty good.
Yeah, I guess. I don't know like that much, but yeah, he's doing good. He plays at Miami, Ohio.
Okay.
So yeah, he's been doing good out there. Yeah.
All right.
But yeah.
That's
So yeah, just pickleball and all that stuff.
Yeah, I got into it. It's really cool. So honestly, I think, and I'm just gonna be honest, I think I had more fun playing pickleball at CSU than I did baseball. Because it's so chill, and we got to play all kind of schools. It was awesome.
Yeah.
So we got to play. We got to play like what are the teams? We got to play Central Florida, University of Central Florida. We got to play Clemson.
That's lit. I'm not gonna lie, that's lit.
It was so much fun.
Yeah.
And it's really cool because unlike baseball, once you're done at college or once you're done at high school, unless you go pro, you're just kind of done.
Oh yeah, you're done. You can go play a pickleball tournament.
Yeah,
But,
exactly.
Yeah, you're done.
Or like church league softball or something like that.
Yeah.
But with pickleball, man, it's blown up, and
It's everywhere, bro. You can play it till you're 80. The people,
That's
people
right.
that were in this gym
That's
before
right.
we got here were playing pickleball, and they were like 80. So
yeah, that's right, man. Like they come in here on walkers, but then they play freaking
yeah,
pickleball.
they're running,
crazy.
playing
Yeah,
pickleball.
that's
Like,
right.
okay.
Yeah, that's about how it went, and I really enjoyed it. My
Yeah.
buddy, his name's Luke, and he started it. He was an ex-golfer at CSU, and he did an amazing job with it. Luke's awesome, and it was a lot of fun,
Yeah.
man. It was a lot of fun, and I plan on still playing. And honestly, this might sound crazy.
I might have to come down to Charleston Southern and show y'all what's up.
Well, hey, I was telling you about. So I'm going to graduate school to get a
Yeah,
master's and doctorate is in West Palm Beach, which is close to Boca Raton, Florida. And Boca Raton is like pretty much just the hub of pickleball. And so, yeah, go play, man.
Yeah,
Let's
I'll
win
come
some
out
games
there.
up.
For
Yeah.
sure.
Maybe after the ACL gets
Yeah. All right. So why do you think? So we'll go back to like just playing sports and all that stuff.
Sure.
Why are coaches so important to athletes when it comes to careers, especially like when they're in high school, like especially what we went through in high school and stuff like that? So why do you think coaches are so important? Like the good coaches.
Oh man, I think coaches are important for like a similar reason that. Let me think about this for a sec. I think coaches are important for a similar reason that most key adult figures in your life growing up are important. And what I mean by that is, like a coach can say something to you when you're in 7th grade, and dude, what he says can have so much weight and brevity that you can remember that. I remember some of the stuff that my coaches said since, like, I remember some of the stuff that my coaches said in 7th grade, man. And that goes good and bad.
Yeah.
And that goes good and bad. Some of the good stuff, some of the negative stuff. But honestly, I talked about earlier how I was ready to quit baseball. My biggest coach was my brother, Tyler.
Yeah.
And so I'd say the two biggest coaches that had an impact on me was my brother, Tyler, and then my coach, Mike Williams, that I talked about earlier. And they both, and I kid you not, are the only reasons, I think, not the only reasons, but probably the biggest factors, other than my dad, because I think everybody's dad's important for this stuff, but are some of the biggest key figures in my life for why I ever got to college. Because I remember my coach, Mike Williams, some of the stuff he would say to me. I remember going in there one time, and I threw a bullpen, and it was not a good bullpen. But he looked at me, and he was like, man, we're gonna get you up to 90, in no time. We're gonna do this. Like you're awesome, man.
And that means a lot, bro.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Gives you confidence.
Yeah, exactly.
Confidence, man.
Even when you're doing bad, like, yeah, that's great.
Yeah. No, seriously, like you have those bad days. And you're like, no, but I'm still good. This was just. You don't let, because those encouraging things have been said, those bad days are just that. You think of them as just bad days. You don't think that you're a bad player or a bad person. These are just bad days. But it's because those coaches are super encouraging to you, man. And then you have bad coaches who, I mentioned earlier about what was said after that scrimmage. And even though I know the reason why I pitched bad, because my elbow was torn, because my shoulder was torn. But because of what that coach said.
Do you think at the time that you should have told the coach that you hurt before then?
Let me think.
He wasn't a very approaching coach to talk to about things, so I get why. But I'm just asking if you think about it now since you're older.
Yeah, probably. Yeah, I would say so. I'd say that was pretty. But I don't think I held it, honestly. And I think, I respect what you said just now about, the coach. For me, I think probably the reason I didn't tell him was probably the same reason I didn't go get it checked out in the first place, was because I just was trying to, I was like, okay, out of sight, out of mind. If I don't think about it, if I don't talk about it, my arm is fine. Yeah. And so I don't think it had anything personally to do to him as much as it did me just denying that anything was wrong with my arm. And so my answer is yes. But I should have told him. It was like a whole slew of things I should have done. I should have told him. I should have gone to get it checked out. I should have done a lot different than I did. So the answer is definitely. So,
I got you.
Yeah.
I got you. Well, we've kind of talked about that for a little bit, so we can go on for that. We'll get like a couple more questions in, then we're good, all right?
Sure, yeah.
So, as being a man of God, going to college and playing a sport in college, right, and exploring different countries, right?
Yeah.
How has that changed you as a man?
Like, how's my different experiences?
Yeah, how's your different experiences from being a man of God, playing sports, going to different countries, doing all what you do, like just change you as a man now, and how you become, like how you are today, you know?
No, that's a really good question. That's a really good question, Dawson. I think probably the biggest way is that I can see other people's, I'm willing to see other people's perspectives and things now. Whereas, I mean, as in I remember early years of college and then in high school, I was fairly dogmatic about things, and which is good. Like some things, it's good to be dogmatic about, but I mean, I've seen so much, man. I'm a Christian who has been to Cairo, Egypt, and seen and heard, like, I've seen Muslim men and women go to the mosque and be incredibly devoted to their religion. I've been to Japan and seen people with no religion at all with an incredibly high suicide rate, but crazy high technology. You know, I've been to London where there's churches everywhere, and they're just kind of museum pieces and entertainment pieces. I've also been living in the Bible Belt South, where there's churches everywhere and everybody's a Christian. I've done a lot. I've seen a lot of different people. I've met a lot of different faces, and I've had a lot of different experiences. And honestly, it's just given me, I want to say it's given me the ability to see other people's perspectives, and I think that's true. But I think it's more so given me the desire to want to see perspectives of other people. And I still have my things and my convictions that I am very convictional about. But man, there's a whole world out there that you just don't realize, man. And it's just it's hard to put it into words exactly how it affects you, but it affects you a lot, and you realize just how big the world is. And so, and kind of honestly, we were talking about this earlier with questions that we had about ultimate reality, God's existence. You start asking a lot more of those questions. How do I know that what I believe is the right thing? How do I know what I believe is right? Like seriously, like it's hard. You go to, like I said, you go to somewhere like Cairo, you meet people. I met some really sweet people, and they were Muslims. And then you leave there, and you're just like, what? These people belong to a different faith than I do. And they were so devoted, they were so sweet. And how do I know that what I believe is right? And so, honestly, I guess the biggest thing that changes you about, you become really curious.
Okay. I got you.
That's a good question. Appreciate it.
So we'll go with the sports part, right? So with the Dirtbags organization, right? We'll talk about that a little bit. And then what was it like playing for them? And do you think it is worth the money for kids to play showcase ball? We'll talk about that and then get one more question.
All right. I want to hear your thoughts on that too, because I would love to hear your thoughts on that too.
On like the part of playing showcase baseball?
Yeah, because my opinion, I'm not I was actually thinking about this a couple of days ago. That I don't know.
Personally, now that I've been through it, I don't think it's worth paying to play showcase ball. Dude, I got an offer from a camp. You telling me I didn't have to pay that much? My parents didn't have to pay that money. All those years, I could have just went to a camp for $75 and got an offer. So I don't know. Like personally, no, I don't think it is worth it. I think it's worth it if you want to get a lot of film. But like, no, I don't think it's worth it, because you can just, if you do, go play high school ball and go to camps. Because if you want to specifically go to that school, you can specifically go to their camp and see what happens. You know? But I mean, I don't know, because a lot of coaches be lying. They be like, oh, these coaches come to your game. This coach, they don't. So I don't know. I personally don't think it is.
Well, especially with the bigger, so that's a good point. So especially with the bigger organizations, man, this is honestly my opinion. This is going to sound really harsh, and I don't mean to be as harsh as it is, but honestly, if you're not very good,
Yeah.
and just seriously, you gotta honestly evaluate yourself. If you're not very good, I would not
no reason to pay.
sign up for a showcase team. And that's honestly because you're gonna get stuck on a team. So like the Dirtbags, I didn't know this, but they had like 8. I love the Dirtbags. Like I love them, and I love playing for them. I thought it was a good time. I love the name. It was kind of unique, so that was sick. But like they have 8 teams on some of the age groups, man, and those lower level teams, besides like the top 2 teams,
y'all don't care.
People come to the games.
Yeah, exactly. Yeah.
Like, there's just not, and it's fun. Like no doubt, those are some of the
For
best
sure. Yeah, no,
memories.
it's the best time you'll ever have. That's a good source. Like it'll be like one of the best times. You'll meet a lot of people.
Yeah.
So, but
If your parents have money laying around,
exactly.
Go for it. Or if you're pretty good and you would like that, if you're pretty good and you would like those looks, and you're gonna get on like a top 2 team in the organization, sure, go do it.
Yeah.
I think that honestly would be. I think that'd be great.
Yeah.
Because especially if you're really good, you could probably get some. You might be able to get some pro looks as well as college looks. I'm kind of talking out of the side of my mouth because I'm thinking as I'm talking, but like. Yeah, that's what I'd say.
Yeah.
I'm not sure.
Okay.
But
Yeah.
I think
Yeah, no, I don't think. I mean, it just depends on where you're at and what happens.
Yeah.
To be very honest with you, with that. But personally, I'd say no. It is not worth it.
Yeah.
I was at school playing my sport from a camp, so I don't think it's worth it. To be very honest with you. Yeah. And then like, I'd say I got more interest from other schools going to the camps than playing showcases. So. It just depends on you and what happens with your family and all that stuff, really.
It's probably team dependent too.
Yeah.
Like some organizations probably more worth it than others. And your skill level.
Exactly.
Yeah, I think you have a good point.
Yeah, okay. Yeah, we'll get this last question in and we'll get out of here. Give 3 aspiring tips you would tell to like aspiring young athletes out there who want to play at the next level. Just 3 straight quick ones.
Okay, 3 straight quick ones.
Yeah, you don't have to be quick, but yeah, like 3 straight ones, 3 straight tips. Yeah.
Okay. Always be very confident. Always be very confident. Tell yourself that you are the best player on the field. Even if you're like statistically not, tell yourself that you're the best player in the field.
Yeah.
That helped me a lot. Maybe that's cocky. Don't be a jerk. But like, that's a tip number 1. The other tip is I would say, I mean, just like with all of life, you have to work very hard. You have to be very disciplined. And that's what I would say, even if you're already really good, it does not matter. You're building a pattern for when you get into college and for the rest of life.
Yeah.
There was a lot of people who were really good in high school, but they didn't work very hard.
Yeah.
Then they got to college, you had to work hard, and they kind of just fizzled out because they hadn't built that up in high school.
Yeah.
So build the habit of working hard.
Yeah.
Make sure to be confident that you think you're the best player out there.
Yeah.
The other part is just honestly, just take a deep breath.
Yeah.
Right? Take a deep breath and enjoy the people who are around you through that process. I was listening back, and this is really funny. Well, not funny, but it's just funny thinking through this. I was listening back to a video of me at Aiken High, and I remember I was on I hadn't gotten a hit in several games, but in this video, I remember I got a double. And I remember watching this video back in high school, looking at my technique, only thinking about my form, being excited that I got the hit. And I rewatched it a couple days ago, and I watched the video, and I could hear my dad saying, "Come on, Reagan, go Reagan, you got this." And man, I almost teared up, because it's weird, because back then all I thought about was my form, and now I don't even care about that hit. I just am so excited, and I feel so cared for and loved by my dad, who put so much time and effort into me.
Yeah.
And it's weird, like back then I only cared about the hit. Now when I watch that video, I only care about my dad's voice.
Yeah, exactly.
And so make sure to prioritize the people around you. All those things are building good habits for success.
Yeah.
So,
Okay. Yeah, man, Reagan, thank you for coming on, man. For this episode 7, it was great.
Yeah.
So it was good.
Fun.
Yeah, it was good.
Yeah.
Thank you, man.
I appreciate you.
So now, you do have to answer that last question. You do have to answer that. So basically,
my name?
Yeah, you can say it if you want, because I'll say it. But yeah, so basically, Who is your least favorite coach? We'll take it a little spicy and just say that.
I'm gonna say I had the
You
worst.
come in.
Okay, yeah, my bad. I'm gonna say, because I don't want to say anything about his character.
Yeah, no.
I don't want to say anything personally.
Mhm.
I had the worst experience
With him.
with my Aiken High coach my senior year. I was an immature 17-year-old.
Yeah.
A lot of the things that I think we argued about, I haven't changed my mind on, to be honest. I still think some of them.
Exactly.
I still think some of the arguments I was correct on. Some of the things he said was hurtful, but I think people make mistakes, and that was his first year coaching high school ball, and people make mistakes, and that's fair.
Yeah.
But the worst experience I had was under. Was definitely under my economic
Yeah,
coach.
okay.
So
Yeah,
if you want to say the name, you can. But
Yeah, he's terrible. Gary Ashley, you suck. I'm sorry, but like it just what that was.
Yeah.
Honestly, like I mean, you were a good coach, I guess, for other reasons, but not personal reasons, in a way. For me and him, I guess, wherever you call it. But yeah, we won't get all into that today. We're gonna get this over with. I want to thank all the viewers out there for coming to watch and everything, and just tune in to episode 8 next week coming out. Subscribe and like the video.